Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and chart your course from a finished project to a globally distributed film. Look, if you're tuning into this, you probably already know the absolute bone-deep exhaustion of the creative grind. Spending countless nights staring at your editing timeline until 4 in the morning, totally obsessing over 3 frames of audio sync. You have poured your time, probably your dwindling bank account, and your entire vision into making something truly special. But as any seasoned filmmaker will quickly tell you, surviving production and actually making the film, well, that's really only half the battle.
Right, so that brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? You've locked picture, now what? You have completed the frankly Herculean task of directing and producing, but now you face the next massive challenge, preventing your masterpiece from rotting away in the infamous hard drive graveyard. And it's a harsh reality. Thousands of brilliant independent films are finished every single year, only to sit silently on a desktop simply because the jump from a final cut to a global audience feels totally intimidating. Making that leap means you have to shift your mindset from an artist to an entrepreneur. But don't worry, because luckily it's a process we can entirely demystify and break down together step by step.
To actually map this out, we're relying on a curated, highly active roadmap sourced from the industry aggregator Shortfundly. It highlights 10 specific distribution companies that are accepting submissions right now. These aren't abstract concepts or broken, defunct web portals. These are active, living pathways ready to help you reach global audiences, secure real distribution deals, and seriously boost your career. Sourced directly from Shortfundly's ultimate list, these 10 targets represent a fantastic cross-section of the modern distribution landscape. We're talking everything from very niche curators to absolute global behemoths. So let's unpack the incredible value structured in this lineup.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, we'll tackle the distribution challenge. Next, we'll cover festival ties and launchpads. And then move right into niche networks and specialists, followed by global indie heavyweights. After that, we'll dive deep into submission tips for success, and finally, get you ready to take your next step.
Starting with Part 1, the Distribution Challenge, getting your film from the director's chair to a global audience. The fundamental truth driving this entire process, the reason you're here, is that your film deserves the world. The ultimate goal isn't just some quiet, unceremonious upload to a video sharing site where you just cross your fingers and pray to the algorithm gods. No way. A true distribution strategy is built on a couple of absolutely crucial pillars. First up, securing fair deals. Let's be real, in the indie world, predatory contracts are unfortunately super common, so locking in agreements that actually respect your IP and your back-end rights is vital. Second, achieving multi-platform distribution. You don't just want a single link to send people. You want audiences to find you on VOD, streaming platforms, and maybe even broadcast. Basically, everywhere they already consume media. And getting your project that kind of maximum exposure requires partnering with entities that already hold the trust of both filmmakers and major buyers. Moving on to Part 2, Festival Ties and Launchpads, starting your journey through major industry connectors.
Our first category of distributors acts as the ultimate bridge between the festival circuit and global buyers. First up is Film Freeway. Now, if you've ever tried to submit to festivals manually, you know it is a total administrative nightmare. Film Freeway is an absolute industry staple because it centralizes all that chaos, connecting filmmakers across features, short films, and documentaries directly with thousands of festivals and industry professionals all in one hub. Next is TIFF Distribution, which is the official arm of the Toronto International Film Festival. And wow, the pedigree here is massive. Associating your feature, doc, or short with the TIFF brand instantly elevates its prestige. It's a massive signal to buyers that your work meets a world-class standard. And finally, we have Stiff Distribution, a powerhouse dedicated entirely to connecting films with festivals and buyers on a global scale.
Now, it is incredibly vital to recognize the explicit call-out for short filmmakers here. If you have a short film, Stiff is your dedicated home. It's kind of an open secret in the industry that short films are notoriously difficult to monetize. There are phenomenal calling cards for directors, absolutely, but traditional buyers often just don't know what to do with a 15-minute project. While other platforms are constantly dividing their attention between massive 2-hour features and endless episodic TV series, Stiff focuses entirely on the unique, often challenging market of short films. Recognizing which platform caters specifically to your format, rather than just treating it as an afterthought, is honestly half the battle in modern distribution.
Which brings us to Part 3, niche networks and specialists, finding the exact right audience for your specific genre.
When you're looking at specialized networks, you really need to consider the stark contrast between a platform like Alter and Dust.
Alter is an incredible destination that's actively searching for thought-provoking, impact-driven films across docs, features, and shorts. But on the flip side, Dust specifically positions itself as the premier destination for independent films with a strong focus on niche sci-fi audiences. So you have to look really objectively at your own project. Imagine you've directed a slow-burn, socially conscious documentary about urban planning. That project might absolutely thrive under Alter's impact-driven umbrella, but it would likely die on arrival at Dust. Conversely, if you've shot a hyper-stylized 15-minute cyberpunk thriller, well, Dust's incredibly passionate genre-specific audience is exactly who you want to reach. Tailoring your submission to the specific identity and audience of the distributor is absolutely vital if you want to avoid instant rejection.
Now for Part 4, Global Indie Heavyweights, partnering with massive worldwide sales and distribution networks.
Okay, now we are scaling way up to the absolute heavyweights. These are the worldwide sales networks that have the established infrastructure to reach millions of viewers. Let's walk through this phenomenal lineup. First, Java Films specializes in delivering independent features, docs, and series to global platforms. Then we have FilmHub, which acts as an open, worldwide sales network, literally using tech to automatically place indie features and shorts onto dozens of streaming channels. Then you have a true titan of the industry, Kino Lorber. What's so amazing about Kino Lorber is their unparalleled prestige in classic, indie, and foreign cinema. They are deeply renowned for respecting cinematic history, and they actively acquire and distribute restored classic films right alongside modern features and docs. Magnolia Pictures is another legendary name. They boast a massive track record with Oscar-nominated documentaries and groundbreaking independent films. Honestly, if you land with Magnolia, you're instantly part of cinematic royalty. Finally, there's FilmRise, which operates a massive global film and TV distribution network with billions, yes, billions of streams across their own apps and partner platforms. So whether you have a brand new episodic series, a hard-hitting documentary, or even a restored classic, there is a specialized heavy hitter out there with immense capital just waiting for your submission.
Part 5, Submission Tips for Success, the playbook for getting accepted. Knowing who to pitch is really only useful if you actually know how to pitch them. To get distributed, you absolutely need a professional playbook. Step 1. Read the submission guidelines carefully. I know it sounds incredibly basic, but here is a surprising fact. Distributors throw out a massive percentage of submissions totally unread simply because filmmakers ignored basic formatting rules or submitted a genre they don't even acquire. Please don't give a distributor an easy excuse to pass on your film over a technicality. Step 2. Prepare a professional press kit and screener. Your press kit needs high-resolution stills, a gripping logline, director bios, and any festival laurels. The presentation of your film matters just as much as the final color grade. Step 3. Tailor your pitch. Remember our comparison earlier between Alter and Dust? Pitch them based on what they actually want to sell, not just what you wanted to make. Step 4. Follow up politely and stay persistent. The acquisitions industry moves at a frantic pace, so checking in respectfully keeps you on their radar without becoming a nuisance. And Step 5. Build relationships and network. Distribution is not a one-off transaction where you just hand over a digital file and walk away forever. It's a long-term business partnership.
And finally, Part 6. Take your next step. Let's get your film out there today.
The ultimate promise of this entire journey boils down to 3 really powerful phrases. Your film, their audience, endless possibilities. Think about it. You have already survived the grueling trenches of pre-production, principal photography, and the editing room. You've done the hardest part. You created the art. But now you need to step into the role of a strategist to discover the real cultural and financial impact your project can have when it finally connects with the screens it truly belongs on.
We've explored the massive industry connectors, the highly targeted niche networks, and the established global heavyweights capable of reaching literally millions of viewers. And we've laid out the exact professional playbook for getting a buyer's attention. That transition from an artist to an entrepreneur, it happens right now. Your final cut is sitting on a drive at this exact moment, and the industry is actively waiting for new voices. So the only thing left to ask is, are you going to let your masterpiece gather digital dust, or where will you submit today?